Compact crossovers are huge business. Last year, in the US alone, nearly 2 million of these tall little wagons were sold.
And with all that money on the line, automakers are locked into a veritable death match fighting for your market share.
For 2013, we have the latest and greatest in the compact crossover segment. Luke's got the 2014 Mazda CX-5 2.5 liter.
And challenging it, Mike's got the 2013 Toyota RAV4.
The RAV4 comes standard with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It produces 176 horsepower and 172 pound-feet of torque. The only transmission available on the RAV4 is a 6-speed automatic. Expect 24 miles per gallon city and 31 miles per gallon highway for the front-wheel drive versions like our tester. The RAV4 starts at a price of $23,300 and our XLE front-wheel drive test vehicle rang in at $25,320.
New for this year, the CX-5 comes with a larger 2.5 liter version of Mazda's Skyactiv engine. It's more powerful and makes 184 horsepower and 185 foot-pounds of torque. This version only comes with a 6-speed automatic, unlike the 2-liter version that can also come with a 6-speed stick. The EPA estimate suggests 24 miles per gallon around town and 30 miles per gallon on the highway. Pricing starts at $21,990, but that won't get you into the 2.5 liter engine. Instead, you'll end up paying $25,410 including delivery for the 2.5 liter engine, which isn't available until the mid-level touring trim, which is what we have today.
As beautiful as the CX-5 may be, it can't touch the RAV4's boldness in design. Toyota desperately wanted to shake the dull image of the old RAV4, and well, they've succeeded. Up front, there's chrome that stretches from headlight to headlight, but it's out back where the real differences have occurred. Gone is the trunk-mounted spare tire, which allows for conventional liftgate, a first for the RAV4. As well, the rear liftgate has a recessed window to add an extra styling element.
Ever since Mazda cut ties with Ford, the company's been going full bore with an all-new chassis and sexy new styling. Last year we got our first look at Mazda's Kodo design language, which is on the car behind me and remains unchanged for this year. It goes a lot farther than the RAV4 can ever hope to with its sharp lines, its aggressive 5-point grille, and its strong rear-end styling in terms of turning heads and making people say, wow, hell yeah, this is the car that I want.
The dramatic restyle of the RAV4 wasn't limited to just the exterior, it included the interior as well. Gone is the dated, boring interior of RAV4s of old. Now there's the stylish dashboard cliff that provides a lot of nooks and crannies for optimal storage. As well, it brings all the controls nice and close to the driver. The downside is some of the lower place buttons are hard to reach, but overall it's a good design. The CX-5's boring interior can't touch this new stylish design. Although the CX-5's back seat trumps the Toyota RAV4's 37.2 inches of legroom, the RAV4's back seat just seems more comfortable and more spacious when you're back there. And while we're on the topic of seats, the third row option and the V6 engine have both been killed off in the RAV4 for 2013.
The interior on the 2014 CX-5 doesn't change at all over the 2013 model year, but that's hardly a bad thing. In fact, if anything, this would be my pick in general over the two cars in terms of interior quality. I am missing the dual zone climate control that the RAV4 gets, but beyond that, the center stack is nice and Spartan, easy to use, simple, and I also get much more soft touch materials up here on the dashboard, which I'm very much preferential to. Apart from that, in this trim, you also get some nicer features. Those include rain sensing wipers, a push button start, power seats, Pandora radio, and even automatic headlights. There are some downsides though. This car has just over 34 cubic feet of storage space in the back, and that's about 4.2 less than the RAV4.
The RAV4's goal is to be an easy-to-drive vehicle with a side of fun. Honestly, it doesn't really succeed at being fun to drive, but it does excel at being easy to drive. Nearly anybody could find a comfortable seating position and just get in this vehicle and drive. thanks to its linear steering, easy controls, and predictable maneuvers. Like most vehicles that have sporting pretensions, the RAV4 suspension is set up overly stiff. I feel a CUV should have a softer ride than this. But unfortunately, it is a problem that's plaguing the segment right now. The best part about the RAV4's drive, though, has to be the new 6-speed automatic. Thankfully, it has finally put to rest Toyota's far too long in the tooth 4-speed automatic. Although the CX-5 is a faster all-around vehicle, the throttle setup is designed for fuel economy, not speed, and the RAV4 is more responsive and easier to use.
The CX5 and the RAV4 are similar in so many different ways that in a lot of senses it's hard to tell them apart when it comes to specs. But when it comes to driving, the CX5 is the clear winner, at least from a driver's perspective. And that's because it has more power, it has 185 horsepower and 184 foot-pounds of torque, and that all goes together to make it feel a lot better and more powerful on the road than the RAV4. Not only that, but the Skyactiv chassis helps it feel more connected to the road, and especially at speed, it feels like it handles much, much better. Equipped with the 2.5-liter engine, you only have the one choice of the 6-speed automatic transmission. That's hardly a bad thing though, and really, I'm in love with this transmission. It shifts smooth, and if you drop it into manual mode, even between 1 and 2, you really don't feel the shifts. Not only that, but it acts lightning quick, almost like a dual clutch. That's something that the RAV4 just doesn't have. We're enthusiast drivers, and for that reason, both of us would generally pick the CX-5. It gets better fuel mileage and it has a lower MSRP to start with.
However, the RAV4 is an easier vehicle to operate and is more spacious inside. We feel general consumers may appreciate those features.
For more on this review and others like it, visit AutoGuide.com.